UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson has narrowly survived a vote of confidence among Tory MPs, but suffered a rebellion bigger than Theresa May. 211 MPs voted for the Prime Minister, compared to 148 votes against, a majority of 63. Let's go live to Sky News correspondent Annelise Nielsen at 10 Downing Street. Annelise, I guess Boris Johnson lives another day.
Lives another day, but for how long is the question. He did survive this vote of no confidence, but this isn't a good position for him to be in. Around 40% of his party room wants him out, and as you mentioned, that's worse than the position that Theresa May had after her vote of no confidence. She had to step down 6 months after that. There's a long history of this with leaders. It happened to Margaret Thatcher as well. Just 3 votes of no confidence have been successful since 1924 when this particular process was introduced. But what we have seen is that there is significant disquiet within the Tories. One of the reasons that they're frustrated at the moment is they're concerned about 2 key by-elections coming up, but more longer term they're worried about distrust among their core supporters. One of the reasons that we saw this was at the service of Thanksgiving. We'll show you that in a moment, but we'll let you know how this all played out today. This was a significant moment in Boris Johnson's career. There was 2 hours where Tories were asked to come in and cast their vote. It was a secret ballot. Phones weren't even allowed in the room, so you couldn't take a photo of how anyone else was voting or take a photo of your own ballot to prove how you voted either. So this is the kind of sensitivity around this whole thing. But just a short time ago it was announced that Boris Johnson did succeed.
I can report as returning officer that 359 ballots were cast, no spoiled ballots, that the vote in favour of having confidence in Boris Johnson as leader was 211 votes, and the vote against was 148 votes. And therefore, I can announce that the Parliamentary Party does have confidence.
Senior Conservatives have been out today already speaking in support of Boris Johnson in the lead up to this vote, and they've been quite quick after the vote to say that now's the time to move on from this. The messaging that Boris Johnson was putting out in the lead up to this was that he was happy about this vote happening, that it would square away what's been months of discussion around his leadership, disquiet since the original reports of the parties at Downing Street during lockdown came out. But this has of course risen again with the release of the Sue Gray report in full, which detailed what's really frustrated so many Britons about what conduct happened. And not just that, but the fact that Boris Johnson then went on to have to correct the record about saying he did actually attend parties that he'd forgotten he had, and he didn't consider other things party. It hasn't settled well. His supporters are saying that he's got the big things right in all this, and so now's the time to move on and deal with challenges like cost of living.
We've won the vote tonight. We move on and we build this country's economy, because we have to recover from COVID and, of course, war in Europe.
Now is the time to move on. Now is not the time for self-indulgent navel-gazing. Now is the time to deliver. It's what we're doing as ministers in the Department for Education, and it's what we're doing across government on the people's priorities, tackling that NHS backlog, helping people with the cost of living. These are the things that people are concerned about day in, day out.
But Danica, with the ballots he's received today, he's on the unsteadiest ground yet of his career. And one of the things that's really shaken a lot of Conservatives has been the response that they received. That's Boris Johnson and his wife Kerry when they attended the service of Thanksgiving as part of the Platinum Jubilee celebrations. It's there, as soon as they exited the car and walked up the stairs, there was a resounding boo from the audience. According to the party rules, it will be at least a year before they can have a similar vote of no confidence. But in the meantime, if there is a significant groundswell of support for a new leader in the party, they can actually change the rules and then call another vote. Even doing that attempt probably would be enough to politically pressure Boris Johnson out. Otherwise, there's just a number of ways that he could start losing key supporters. They can start leaking against him. It's a very uncertain time for Boris Johnson.
Certainly appears that way. Annelise Nielsen, live for us in London. We'll keep in touch with you throughout the morning. Thank you.